Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls PvP and another weapon showcase. It is time to get started with the Black Knight weapons. I've had a lot of requests for these, and I figured might as well start with this one. It's the Black Knight sword, for those who are not familiar with these weapons. And you know, they're pretty good weapons. You can get them from killing the Black Knights, who would have guessed. And if you get one, it can carry you through the game, especially if you get one early on. This is one of the ones that people will commonly get early on. Usually it's this one because it's the first Black Knight that they see. That Black Knight uses this sword, so yeah. Now, the Black Knight sword, it has a weight of 8 units. It has a C scaling in strength and an E scaling in dexterity, and it requires 20 strength and 18 dexterity in order to use it. Now, that's kind of high for the stat requirements for, you know, a greatsword class weapon, but you have to keep in mind, you can get this weapon really early on in the game, and it has a base damage of 220. So that's higher than the Drake sword for not much more stat investment. So, for low levels who are lucky enough to get this weapon, well, they can get carried through the game because of it. And I've talked with a lot of people who have got this weapon early in the game, and they said it was easy because they did. And then when they went for their second playthrough and they didn't get this sword, or any other Black Knight weapon for that matter, they said it was a lot harder. It makes sense, because you actually have to worry about upgrading your weapon. This one, you upgrade it with Twinkling Titanite, not as hard to come by as, you know, Titanite slabs. So, it is what it is. Now, a few interesting things about this weapon and the other Black Knight weapons, actually. They all do additional damage to demon enemies like the Taurus Demon and the Capra Demon, so that's kind of cool. Makes sense lore-wise, and I like that little detail. So, yeah. Other things about it, its R2 attacks, they're pretty slow, but they're so satisfying when you hit, and, you know, just the strong knockback that they've got, it's something I like, so. Anyway, moving on, the pros and the cons of the weapon. So I would have to say that the biggest pro of this weapon would probably be, I don't know, probably be the running, or not the running attack, but not even an attack, what am I trying to say? The biggest pro of this weapon would be if you're running through the game on your first playthrough and you're lucky enough to get it, it can carry you through the game. This weapon and the other Black Knight weapons, they're good weapons. They can carry you through the game and they're easy to get early on. Because of that, I mean, that's obviously, it's got to be the biggest pro. When a new player gets this weapon, they're set. Done. Easy mode enabled. They're good to go for the playthrough of the game. PvP, maybe not so much, but from a PvE standpoint, if you get this weapon, you're good. So, yeah, that's the biggest pro in my opinion. Now, PvP-wise, I'd have to say this weapon doesn't have too many great pros. Biggest pro PvP-wise, I would say, is the standard Greatsword pro of being able to stun someone relatively easily with a two-handed running attack. Other than that, the moveset, it's okay, it's not too great. The R2 attacks, although they are satisfying to hit and it makes you really happy when you do get them, you really don't get them that often. And a lot of people actually are able to parry them, or at least willing to try to parry them. So that's something else to keep in mind. Other pros of the weapon, I guess you've got the typical Greatsword pros, you know, the good running attacks, they can dead angle pretty easily. The ability to stun, although it's not so great with this one because, yes, I mean, it can't combo. It can stun, good, but it can't follow it up, so, it is what it is. Unless you just want to do R1 combos, just R1, R1, R1. That's not really that fun, though. I mean, you gotta mix it up sometime, right? That's just my opinion, though. So, anyway, other things about the weapon, the cons, I probably should talk about. Biggest con, probably the weight. I mean, 8 units for this weapon. It's not bad, but it's not that great either. And for the C and D scaling, or C and E scaling rather, you'd be better off with the different greatsword, really. Claymore or Bastard Sword, one of the two, they do better for you. Damage output, AR-wise, it's not that much different, but they weigh less. They've got better movesets, in my opinion. Easier movesets. Let's go with that. Not better, but easier and different. Because they can combo. That's what makes it easier to win with, and that's what makes it different. They can combo a lot easier, and yeah, dead angles and everything. Pretty much everything is better. But that being said, this weapon is still really fun to use. I really do enjoy it. I noticed I was doing a lot of kick R1s when I use this weapon. I don't know why I do that, but it seems to work out pretty decently. So, yeah. Another thing, I was doing a bit more jumping attacks, I think. So, that's something else I've noticed. It kind of forces you to mix up your gameplay a little bit. So, yeah. Alright, now, I don't really have time to recap everything because there's one short little fight left. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is the last fight, and I will see you next time.